Subnautica Below Zero isn't that good. Well, at least most of it is. There's tons of things wrong with the game, but for this video, we are going to be focusing on why the game just isn't very scary like the first one. The first game has tons of different phobias and reasons as to why people would find it scary, and Below Zero takes each phobia from the first game and just gets rid of it or finds a way to make it less scary. In my other video talking about why the first game is scary, I highlighted some phobias, so let's talk about them and why they just don't work here. Xenophobia, the fear of the unknown. It's not the game's fault, but if you played the first game, you pretty much know exactly what to expect, and 90% of the fear from the first game comes from you knowing nothing, and anything could be lurking in the depths. With this, you kind of already know what to expect, and there's not really anything to invert your expectations. It's all just kind of the exact same thing. Thalassophobia, the fear of large bodies of water. This one still sort of applies, but in the first game, there was actually giant bodies of water where you couldn't see the bottom. In Below Zero, everything is pretty shallow, bright, and the map is way smaller, so you can pretty much see everything happening around you, and there's not really any fear of what might sneak up on you, because you can just see pretty much everything around you. Everything in this game is just so f***ing loud for some reason. There's never any time of being alone, which also brings us to monophobia, the fear of being alone. In the first game, it was just you by yourself, but in Below Zero, you are on an alien planet with two other insufferable people, but we'll talk way more about that a bit later in the video. Claustrophobia, the fear of confined spaces. There's pretty much no confined spaces in this game, and aphidophobia and arachnophobia, the fear of spiders and serpents, and there's not really any creatures of the sort in this game as well. But hey, at least we have chirophobia, the fear of ice. The first thing I want to talk about in this video is how the story affects the terror in the game. In the first game, you play as a silent protagonist going to an unknown world. It's relatively silent other than your PDA occasionally talking, and that's what lets the sound design shine. Like I mentioned in the previous video, all you hear is the bubbles leaving your mask, the shifting of metal in the background, and the sounds of the leviathans in the distance, which makes it oddly terrifying. In Below Zero, you have a protagonist that won't shut the f*** up, as well as going to a planet voluntarily versus being stranded there alone. It kind of makes it way less scary when you're in a situation that's supposed to be scary, and Robin, the protagonist, is going, "Oh my god, I'm on an alien planet, and there's aliens here? Isn't that so quirky?" And then Alan, the other guy, he's an alien, Alan the alien, he also talks to Robin in the background, and he's kind of naive alien, so he just says some shit like, "Yo, I'm Alan, and I do alien shit because I'm an alien, and then you don't understand me because I'm an alien, but then I don't understand you because to me you're also an alien." And that's pretty much the whole game. They just talk back and forth like, "Oh my god, what, you do alien stuff in your free time?" And he's like, "Yeah, you do alien shit in your free time because you're an alien too." It's miserable, actually. And it's pretty much just one big whole echo chamber of three annoying ass people that you're stuck on a planet with, forced to listen to. Also, I forgot to mention Margarita, or whatever her name is. She's here too. I'm just gonna leave that in, I guess. She's just kind of there. I don't know why she's there. Lore-wise, she shouldn't be there at all. She should be dead. She's from the first game. But she's just kind of there, and she's just the annoying character. I mean, they're all annoying, but she's one of the annoying characters. So I don't even it's not scary when you have these three bickering and just being obnoxious the entire game. But I don't even care anymore. Riley from the first game has 0 audio lines and then still clears Robin any day of the week, and it's honestly not even close. But long story short, the game is not even close to being scary when you have people just yapping in your ear the whole game. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Alan just spam calls you the entire game, and I'm not picking up that damn phone, dude.
It's gonna be my celebrity phone call. Tom Holland, man, what the man, I don't want to talk to your bitch.
Anyways, let's talk about the leviathans in this game. There's really not a lot of hostile leviathans in this game, so let's cover the main 4. First, we have the chelicerates, aka the chudlicerates, because this thing is just a giant shrimp, and that's just kind of it. Sure, it's cool, I guess, but you don't even really run into these guys that much. There's never really any moment in the game where I've had to deal with them. They just kind of exist in areas you don't really need to go to. and they're just kind of underused. Like, they're just kind of in the middle of nowhere, and you can just go around them, I guess. It's not a big deal. But next, we move our attention to the Void, where we find the Void Chelicerate, which is just a white, zombified upscale of the normal Chelicerate. So you can tell they put a lot of hard work into this. I will give the game some credit because I can't really decide which ecological dead zone is scarier out of the two games. In the first one, you have bioluminescent ghost leviathans, so you can slowly see them approach you and then just kill you because they're the only thing you can see in the void because they're glowing. But in Below Zero, you can't see the void chuds until they're right in front of your face, snapping at you. So I'll turn this over to you guys in the comment section. Which ecological dead zone do you think is the scariest? But next, we have the ice worm. This guy is slapped all over the menu and promotional material, and you only see him for like 20 minutes in game. And when you do actually see him, you just kind of drive right past him. He's not really scary or threatening, he's just kind of lame. And when he does show up, he's just kind of annoying. For footage, I ran around this area for like 20 minutes waiting for him to show up, and he just didn't show up. He would be a lot scary if he was actually a threat and showed up for more than 20 minutes, and then you never go back to this section for the rest of the game. But he's just kind of there. He's just annoying. You don't see him, and when he does appear to kill you, it's just an inconvenience. I'm not scared. I'm just annoyed at him. But moving to the last Leviathan, we have the Shadow Leviathan, and I will give the game some credit where it's due. I really like the design of the Shadow Leviathan, and we actually come across our first phobia, Scolopendrophobia, which I hope I said that right, which is the fear of centipedes, due to this guy being centipede shaped. The only problem is the biome he's in is super cramped, and he just ends up being glitched into a rock, or it's just so cramped he doesn't even have a lot of room to be lurking around. Like, he's always just kind of right in front of you because there's not really any room for him to be moving around at. They had such a good chance to actually have him blend into his surroundings by making the roof of the cave crystals and the floor black rocks. So if you look down, his black skin matches with the floor, and if you look up, his blue mouth blends in with the crystals. Because fun fact, that's actually what sharks do. They have white undersides to match with the surface, so if you look up, you kind of just see them blend in. And they have black tops, which makes them blend in with the ocean floor. So if you look down at them, they also blend in. So it would be cool, and it would make sense if they kind of made him like this. But no, he just kind of sticks out. He is a really cool design, and I have to give him my credit because it is very interesting of design. Probably one of my favorite designs of any of the Leviathans in the games. But it's this at the very end of the game. You hardly really see him, and I just wish they gave him more room and more of like an opportunity to be present in this game. But like, I guess whatever. It's almost like they didn't cut 3 cool creatures from the game. And I made a whole other video talking about this, so I'll only talk briefly about this, but if you want to learn more, you can watch my other video. First, we have the Crested Reaper, which would have been an intelligent version of the Reaper from the first game, and almost pretty much be like a beluga whale, which would be kind of cool and would match the whole theme of Below Zero. The other one would be a bird-like thing called the Kite-winged Skyray, which is just a pterodactyl. And the land sections of this game are super boring. I feel like it would actually be cool if they had a giant bird that would come in and try to kill you, so you actually have to hide in caves to avoid it. But I guess, you know, they just decided, they saw something really cool and they decided not to add it. And the third one is just a ice dragon that shoots ice at you. Like, do I really need to say anything else? Like, they even had audio for this, and it sounds just really cool. But if you want to learn more about those guys, you can check out my other video. But next, we're going to move on to the atmosphere of the game. The game is just way too small for you to actually have to worry about looking over your shoulder. I'm not worried about any creatures when I'm just too busy trying to parallel park my sea truck in a tight cave. In the first game, during the night, it would actually be somewhat dark and be kind of scary. But in this, whenever nighttime happens, it's just bright as hell. And I will give it credit, it does look very beautiful, but it's not scary in the slightest. There's no sense of terror at all in this game. And I do still want the preference that I know making the game scary wasn't their intent, but when you make the first game almost a horror game at some points, then this is just poop. Also, the visibility is way higher in this game, so you can pretty much just spot a Chelicerate like a mile away, and then just go in the other direction. Also, their pathfinding still sucks. Like, you can swim right under it, and it just doesn't do anything. I just feel like there's so many small points that separate the first game from Below Zero in the terror category. I just feel like the game is just missing something, like it wasn't finished. The gameplay is just alright, the story is just alright, everything about Below Zero is just alright. It doesn't really shine in any aspect other than just looking nice. And with Subnautica 2 set to release next year, I really hope they can try to pick up some of the terrifying atmosphere from the first game. And from what they showed from the promotional material so far for the second game, it does look pretty promising, but so did Below Zero before it came out. Below Zero just feels like had the right ideas in subsections, but ended up being poorly executed to where it doesn't feel fully satisfying. This is cool, but like it could have been cooler. This is good, but it could have been better. And this is scary, I guess, but it just could have been scarier. Anyways, thank you for listening to me talk about why this mediocre game is mediocre. And if you thought this video was at least better than mediocre, you should subscribe. Anyways, thanks for watching. This was Chud content.